from the sources, those also we have discussed. So, Dhriti, which is the light absorbed by the chlorophyll? What is the name of the color of the light which is absorbed by the
Good
chlorophyll?
evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Abhigya.
Ma'am, sunlight.
Which light will be absorbed? Which color actually? Which color is absorbed by the leaf?
Ma'am, blue and red.
Correct. Blue and red will be absorbed by the leaf. Shayan, which
Good
colors
evening,
get
ma'am.
reflected back? Good evening, Shubhansh. Shayan, which color reflected back? Green. Green color reflected back, and that is the reason we that green color appears to our eyes. Fine. Then we also have discussed about the raw materials, 4 different raw materials: carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, and the chlorophyll. Fine. Then turn on the video, Abhigya, Meher, Shubhansh, everybody. You should not turn on the video again and again. I should not keep
I
on saying
went
the
for
same thing.
taking my
Okay.
books, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So then we have discussed about the 3 major events for the photosynthesis, which is very, very important for your board point of exam. So, Abhigya, what is the first major point of it for the photosynthesis event?
The sunlight is absorbed by the leaves through chlorophyll.
Okay, fine. Okay, what is the second point, Zoha, for the event of photosynthesis?
Could you repeat?
Second event of photosynthesis. So there are 3 events for the photosynthesis. What is the second one? Second point related to it. Second,
Conservation of light. Sorry.
so conversion of light into the
is and splitting of water molecule.
correct. So conversion of light energy into chemical energy. At the same time, the water will be split into the hydrogen and oxygen. Abhinav, what is the third step and the last step?
Reduction of carbon dioxide into carbohydrates.
Correct. So the carbon dioxide is present, so that will be converted into the, or that will be reduced into the carbohydrates. So these are the 3 major steps for the photosynthesis. Now, today we are going to discuss about the structure of the leaf. And in the grade 6 you have learned, in the grade 7 you have learned the outer structure of the leaf, right? So what are, if I talk about the outer structures of the leaf, Shubhansh, what are the parts of the leaf?
Parts of leaf, chlorophyll, chloroplast, stomata.
Okay, chlorophyll, chloroplast, stomata. Okay, any other part, Meher? Any other part apart from this,
Ma'am, I don't
which
know.
you have learned in your okay,
Guardian
don't know.
cells.
Okay, guard cells we call them. Okay, any other Sudhamshu,
I know one more.
any other parts of, yes, tell me.
Ma'am, veins.
Veins, okay, fine. So basically, when we talk about the outer structures or the external structure of the leaf, I'll share the screen first of all. So when we talk about the outer structure, you all know about it very well. We'll just revise it. So right, so it will be like this. The structure will be like this. Correct. Now the center one, what is the center? This thick line called as in the center, just called as the, this thick line is called as the midrib. Okay. Then surrounding this midrib, you can see the small structure. These are called as the veins. Fine. So center thick line is known as the midrib. Surrounding the midrib will be the vein. Now you might have seen the complete leaves are covered by the green color. Everywhere the green color will be there. So that broad color, green color part is known as what? It is known as the, what is the name called as for the broad green part of the leaf? It is called as the Yes, children, what is called as the broad green leaf? It's called as the lamina. Fine. Then the part which attach the stem. So here we have the stem and the leaf. So the part which attach the stem with the leaf, it is called as what? It is called as the petiole. It is called as petiole. So here the stem and here we have the leaf. So stem is attached with the leaf with a part called as the petiole. So these are the basic structure, or I can say the external structure of a leaf, which we have studied almost like in the grade 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and all. Now we are going to study not the external structure, but the anatomy of a leaf. What do you mean by anatomy? What do you understand with the word anatomy? What is anatomy?
I'm like the study of specific things or structure.
Okay, the study of a specific thing. Any other point regarding the anatomy? So basically, when we talk about the word anatomy, it means the internal structure, right? So we will be studying about the internal structure of a leaf. So internal structure, how it looks like, what are the different parts of it, and what are the functions of those parts, we will be discussing the today's class. And it is again a very, very important part. You can see the picture. I hope the PPT is there on the screen, right? Zoha, Aryan, Shubhansh, Zitti, Ayonija, Aman, Abhinav, Shayan,
Yes, ma'am.
Meher, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. And be little attentive for this session because it is very, very useful and helpful for you. Okay. So anatomy of a leaf. So basically, as I said, we will be talking about the internal structure of a leaf. So what are the different parts of the leaf? Internal parts, not the external parts. Okay. Okay. So this is the overview. Now this is the complete picture of a leaf. You can see. Coming to first of all, this side we will be talking on the right hand side. You can see a kind of layer. Can you see on the top a kind of sheet is there? A kind of layer is
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
This layer is called as what? It is called as the cuticle. So cuticle is the outermost layer there, which is there in the leaf. So cuticle is the first part. Now, as soon as you can see after this cuticle, there is a layer. This one, the upper layer is called as this layer, okay? This layer is called as the upper epidermis. So outermost we have a layer called as a cuticle. Just below the cuticle, we have the other layer, other cells which are called as the upper epidermis. Now, same way, downside when we come, we can see the other type of a layer which is called as the lower epidermis. So both the sides, the epidermis will be there. Upper one is called as the upper epidermis, whereas the lower one is known as the lower epidermis. Now, in between this two epidermis, whatever the types of cells are present, those cells all together are called as the mesophyll cells. So between the upper epidermis and the lower epidermis, whatever the cells are present, those cells are called as the mesophyll cells. Am I clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Fine, very important. Cuticle is the outermost layer. After the cuticle, there will be a layer called as upper epidermis. Same way, the downside will be the lower epidermis. Between the upper and the lower epidermis, the cells which are present, they are called as the mesophyll. Now, what happens in the mesophills? What is present are the vascular bundles. When we talk about the vascular bundles, you might have studied in the grade 9 about xylem and phloem, right? You have studied about xylem and phloem. So these
Yes, ma'am.
xylem and phloem, they are present there in the vascular bundles. So the xylem, what they will be transporting? They will be transporting the water and minerals. So water and minerals will be transported through the xylem, and the phloem, what they will be transporting? The food. Fine. So xylem and phloem together, they are called as the vascular bundles. Sometimes what happen in the exam, they ask you to write the names of vascular bundle. So in that case, you should write the name called as the xylem and phloem. So upper epidermis, lower epidermis. Then between these mesophyll cells will be there. Then apart from that, the vascular bundles will be present called as the xylem and phloem. Now coming to the other left hand side, what do we have? We have inside this mesophyll cells, what do we have? We have these cells called as the chloroplast. The small, small round like structures will be present. They are called as the chloroplast. Now these chloroplast cells, they are present in our cells called as the palisade cells. Fine. So cuticle, upper epidermis, lower epidermis, between both the epidermis, the mesophyll cells will be there and the vascular bundle will be there. Whereas the chloroplast will be present in the palisade cells. Then the mesophyll cells, sometimes what happen, they get bulge in nature. So that time they are called as the spongy mesophyll cells. And they bulge due to the presence of water. So due to the over presence of all the water, what happens? They get bulge out. Then they will have the guard cells also, and they will have the stomatas also. So these are the various parts which are present in the internal structure of a leaf. So chloroplast will be there in the palisade cells. Then the mesophyll cells will be there, vascular bundle cells will be there, the guard cells and the stomata. Now we will be discussing one by one the function of each and every part of it. Now leaf is a flattened lateral outgrowth from the stem of a vascular plant. So we talk about the plants. From the plant, what happens? They will be coming out. In most cases, leaves are green and contain chlorophyll. So we know very well that the leaves, mostly leaves will be green in color, and they are the primary site of photosynthesis. Now, if I talk about on the leaf, so in the leaf, what is the site of photosynthesis where photosynthesis occur? So which place the photosynthesis will be occurring?
Chloroplast.
Chloroplast.
Yes, chloroplast. Fine. So leaf are the major site of it, and in the leaf it will be occurring in the chloroplast. Now coming to the function, beyond photosynthesis, leaves also play other roles in the plant's life, such as transpiration. So apart from the photosynthesis, they also do the process called as the transpiration. And what is transpiration? Releasing of water vapor. So as we have discussed in the last class, so transpiration is a process in which the excess water will be removed in the form of water droplets. So these leaves will be doing the transpiration as well as the exchange of gases also they will be doing. Then they will be protecting from the sunlight and the herbivores also. Now coming to the very important part, this layer or the covering, the upper one you can say, it's called as a cuticle. One marker question. This is one mark question. The function of cuticle or to label the cuticle where it is present. So what it is, cuticle is a waxy layer covering. So waxy means kind of wax. So it is a waxy covering the upper epidermis of the leaf. So it is present in the upper epidermis of the leaf and it is made up of a substance called as lutein. So this cuticle is a layer basically which is made up of the waxy covering and they are made up of the chemical called as the lutein. Now, why it is important? What is the function of it? The cuticle acts as a waterproof barrier, so reducing water loss from the leaf surface. So, due to the presence of this cuticle, what happens? The extra amount of water will not move out, and whatever the water will is there, it will be stored in them. So, it acts as a waterproof barrier, reducing the water loss from the leaf surface. So, from the leaf surface, the water loss will not be there much. Clear? What is cuticle? It is the upper waxy covering present in the upper epidermis layer made up of the cutin and it is the barrier for the water loss. Clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Others?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, cuticle we are done. The second layer we have discussed was the epidermis, upper epidermis. What is it? It is a single layer of cell. Now you can see in the picture also how many cells are there? How many layers are there? Only one layer. So it is a single layer of cell. This is what the upper epidermis. So single layer of cell covering the top surface of the leaf. So what do they do? They will be covering the top surface of leaf. And the major function of it is it provides protection from water loss. So as like the cuticle, what they will be doing? They also will be helping in preventing the water loss, as well as they will be protecting from the UV radiation. So whatever the ultraviolet violet radiation comes, the upper epidermis will be protecting the leaf out of it. And pathogens. So also whatever the pathogens will be coming and attacking on them, they will be protecting. It also secretes a waxy cuticle. So as we know, the upper epidermis has a cuticle. So definitely it will be producing a cuticle. So it is a single layer of cells. It covers the top surface of the leaf and function it protects from the water loss, protects from the pathogens, and also protects from the UV radiation. Right? So that is the upper epidermis. Then now these cells where below the upper epidermis, these cells are called as what? They are called as the mesophyll. So what is it? The tissue between the upper and lower epidermis of the leaf, which are responsible for photosynthesis, they are called as the mesophyll cells. So these are the tissues which are present between the upper and the lower epidermis, and they are responsible for the photosynthesis process. Then what it is function are? It contains chloroplast. So as you can see here, what do they have? The mesophyll cells, they have the chloroplast. So it contains chloroplast for capturing sunlight. So as we have discussed in the previous class, event number 1, absorption of sunlight by chlorophyll, by the chlorophyll. So who will be doing with the help of the chloroplast? It will be done in the mesophyll cells. So they contain the chloroplast for capturing sunlight and carrying out photosynthesis. Fine. So they are
Yes,
they are
ma'am.
present in between the upper and the lower epidermis. They will be helping. They have the chloroplast, which helps in the conduction of the photosynthesis. Then we have the next type of cells called as the palisade cells. Now these palisade cells are basically kind of the mesophyll cells only, but in the case of them, they are tightly pegged cells. Mesophyll cells are somehow loosely pegged cells, whereas the palisade cells are tightly pegged cells and they contain the higher number of chloroplasts. Again, a very important question. Now, if they ask you difference between mesophyll and palisades, in the mesophyll, the cells might be loosely packed. But in the case of the palisades, the cells are tightly packed. Then in the mesophils, the number of chloroplasts are okay. But whereas in the palisades, as compared to the mesophyll, they will have the high number of the chloroplasts in them. Then the function of the palisade cells, they specialize it for capturing sunlight because they have so much of chloroplast with them. So what do? They will be absorbing the more amount of sunlight. So now between mesophyll and palisade cells, who is absorbing the more amount of sunlight, mesophyll or palisades?
Palisade.
Who absorbs the more amount of sunlight? The palisade cells. Yeah, the palisade cells will be absorbing the more amount of sunlight. And why do they absorb more amount of sunlight? Because of more amount of?
Chloroplast.
Correct, Riti. So because of presence of more amount of chloroplast, they absorb more amount of sunlight. Now, if they absorb more amount of sunlight, will the photosynthesis occur at a faster rate or slower rate?
At a faster rate.
faster.
Faster rate.
Faster rate. Correct, faster rate. So see, topic was only one, right? But question framing can be in any. Now with one topic, I've asked you so many questions. The number of chloroplasts are high, it means what will be there? Then the palisade cells will be there. So if the chloroplast number high, photosynthesis reaction will be occurring at a faster rate, right? So these are what? These are the basic things which you should know, and the differences also between the mesophyll and the palisade cells. Now we'll go for the next one. Now coming to the next one are the spongy mesophils. So they are basically, you can see these are the down one, that are the spongy mesophyll cells. They are irregularly shaped cells in the lower region of the mesophills. So basically the downside of the leaf, they are present and they contain air spaces between them. So since they have the air spaces in between them, that is why they are called as spongy. And due to the presence of this air spaces, sometimes what happens, the water also moves into them. The main function is they allow the gas exchange within the leaf due to the air spaces. Understood? So why the spongy mesophills are important for the exchange of the gases due to the presence of air spaces. Now imagine if these spongy mesophill cells are not there. So will the amount of exchange of gases will be increased?
No, ma'am.
No, right? So that is why the mesophyll cells and the spongy mesophyll cells are very important so that the exchange of gases can happen easily. So that is what the spongy mesophyll cells. Then coming to the next one are the chloroplasts. So chloroplasts, these small green structures you can see in the mesophyll cells. So they are the specialized organelles within plant cells containing chlorophyll. So what do they have? They have the chlorophyll inside them and they are the green pigment. They are responsible for the capturing of sunlight during the photosynthesis. So basically the chlorophyll is present in the chloroplast. The capturing of sunlight will be done by the help of the chlorophyll and the chloroplast only. Main function of them, chloroplast converts sunlight into the chemical energy through photosynthesis. So event number two. So event number two is conversion of the light energy into chemical energy. So who is doing that? That is done by the chloroplast. So this is the major function of the chloroplast, that is to convert the sunlight energy into the chemical energy during the photosynthesis process. Then the next one are the guard cells. So a pair of specialized cells, like you can see here, basically in a pair they are present, right? So they are the pair of specialized cells surrounding each stomata, responsible for opening and closing the pores. So what happens is, like for example, these are the stomatas present here. So surrounding, these are the stomatas. Now surrounding them, there will be the guard cell, and with the help of this guard cells only, they will be deciding that how much of extra water should go inside, how much it should not, it should come outside. So regulation of amount of water will be decided by the guard cells. How much it has to go, how much it has to come out. And at the same time, the exchange of gases also will be done with the help of the guard cells. Functions: by changing their shape, guard cells control the size of stomata, opening, regulating the gas exchange and water loss. Now, as soon as the water enter inside the guard cells, what happens? The stomata will get open or close?
Open.
Open.
Open. So as soon as the water enters into the guard cell, the stomata gets open. And as soon as the water moves out of the guard cells, what happened to the stomata? It will get?
Shrink and close.
Very good. Who answered this?
Abhinav.
Abhinav, very good. So, as soon as the water moves out of the guard cells, what happens? The stomata will get shrink and it get closed. So that is how the opening and closing of stomata will be done with the help of what? With the help of this guard cells. So guard cells plays a very important role in opening and closing of the stomata. Now, if they are responsible for opening and closing of the stomata, what are they doing? They are doing the exchange of gases, as well as they are regulating the amount of water intake and water outtake. Understood? These are things which are related to each other. Stomata, guard cells, water intake, outtake, exchange of gases. So these are everything correlated to each other. Now the next layer are the lower epidermis. A single layer of cells will be there covering the undersides of the leaf. The main function, it is similar to the upper epidermis. It provides the protection and contains more stomata for the gas exchange. So in the lower epidermis, the more number of stomatas will be there for the gas exchange. Then the next one, stomatas, they are the microscopic pores on the leaf surface. They allow for the exchange of gases. They are controlled by the guard cells. They are responsible, they open and close to regulate the gas exchange and the water loss. So basically, the opening and closing of the stomata will be done, and accordingly, the water intake and the outtake will be there with the help of the guard cell and stomata. Then the last one are the vascular bundle. They are the network of tubes within the cell. So this picture is of the vascular bundle. So they are the network of tubes within the leaf transporting water, nutrients and sugar throughout the plant. So with the help of this vascular bundle, what happened throughout the plant, the water, the food or the minerals will be transported. Xylem vessels transport water and minerals from the roots to the leaves, whereas the phloem vessels transports sugar. So xylem, what they will be doing, they will be transporting the water and the minerals from roots to the other parts of the plant, whereas the phloem, they will be transporting the sugar or the food from where to where? The phloem transports the food from where to where?
Leaf to other parts of the plant.
Very good, Dhriti. So leaf to the other parts of the plant. What is the process called as? So there's a name, actually a particular name for it, where the transportation of food will be there from the leaf to the other parts of the plant. What it is called as? What is the name of that process called as? So when the food moves from leaf to the other parts of the plant, it is called as what? It starts with T. T letter.
Trans-
Sudhamshu,
what will-
any idea? Ayunuja, come
Ma'am,
again.
Ma'am, it starts with T, na? T.
It is
Ma'am, it starts with T, na? You said.
your voice. Yes.
Transportation.
No. Sudhamshu, any answer, Shubhansh? And turn on the video, children. It starts with T, letter T. Okay. Second letter is R. T R A
Transpiration.
N S.
Transmission.
Trans. No.
Translocation?
Trans, what I have told you. Very good, Ayonija. It is called as a translocation. All right. So when from the leaf, whatever the food they have prepared, when it is moving down to the other parts of the plant, it is called as a translocation. In the class 9th, you might have studied in the chapter tissues. So translocation is basically the downward movement of the food from leaf to the other parts of the plant. Okay, so that is called as a translocation. So translocation is basically the downward movement of food from leaves to the roots. So when the food starts moving from leaf to the roots, it is called as a translocation. Fine. So that's it about the anatomy of the leaf. So any doubt do you have, children, regarding the parts of it?
No, ma'am.
Zohat, okay, turn on your video, children. So, okay. So these were the different parts of the anatomy of leaf. Palisade cells, mesophiles, upper epidermis, lower epidermis. Lower epidermis has more number of stomata, because of which they can do the more exchange of gases will be there. Then cuticle is a waxy layer which is made up of the cutin. And then the guard cells will be there, which will be responsible for the opening and closing of stomata. Stomata, tiny pores, which are responsible for the exchange of gases. So these all words are, somehow connected to each other. Stomata, is glucose, starch. So that is why just raise your doubts. Abhigya, Shan, Aman, Aryan, and
Yes, ma'am.
any doubt if you have
No doubt.
till today.
No
So it
doubts.
is like I'll be uploading this presentation on the Wise app. So once starts working, I'll be uploading there. So just go through it and learn it, okay? Understand learning, don't do the learning part. Understand it. If you understand the thing, then definitely it will be there in your brain for the long time. After which layer it is present, what is the function of it, how we can define it. So all those things are given in very, very clear way, right? So what it is, what are the functions? So these things you need to, homework will be to draw the internal structure of a leaf and to write the functions of few given parts. So I have given some of the parts of it. You have to write the functions of it. So you should draw the structure of a leaf and then the functions of few parts which I have given there in the homework. You need to write the functions of them. All right?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
I had a doubt. Ma'am, like
Hmm.
in this season, some of the leaves turn from green to like brownish color. Ma'am, why
Hmm.
does that happen?
Wilting, that is called as actually wilting or aging. So due to the abscisic acid. So like we have in our body hormone present, right? Same way they also, the plants also have the hormone. So due to deficiency of those hormones, they start aging up.
Okay, ma'am.
So that is your chapter control and coordination, Shubhansh. We will be learning in a very detailed way in that chapter.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine. So why do they turn green? Why do they turn brown? Why do they fall down? So those all reasons due to the hormones it happens.
Okay, ma'am. मैम 10th की बायो में सिर्फ प्लांट्स के बारे में है ना फिर तो
No. It's about the animals also. Now, like photosynthesis was about plant. Now, from the next session onwards, like from Thursday onwards, we will be starting about the humans part. So, what all nutritions we are doing, what are the types of it, what are the steps of it, different parts, mouth, esophagus, stomach, liver, pancreas. So, those parts now we'll be discussing in the Thursday's class about the humans.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
So likewise, for the respiration also for the plants will be there, for the animals will be there, or the humans will be there. Then transportation for the plants, for the humans. Excretion for the plants, for the humans. So for both the things we are going to learn each and every topic.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, children, then see you in the next class on Thursday. But make sure that
Okay.
you complete the homework and send it to me personally. At the same time, whatever has been done, keep on revising on daily basis. The structure of leaf is important diagram. Stomata opening and closing diagram is very important. So practice them. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Okay then. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye, ma'am. Bye, ma'am. Good day.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.